Coach, just initial
I have
thoughts
no
from the
idea. No, I mean, obviously the second half was much better. We had talked about being ready. I asked them after. I said, if you're ready. I don't know. I think we came with a good mindset, but it didn't go easy. Obviously, when we didn't make the threes, you start seeing the body language change. And I thought we were making a push. We went up 18-16. It seemed like momentum. And then we had the young guys in there who I thought gave us some good energy, but they just didn't do a good job match-up and transition defense. They scored 8 in a row. So now they go on the run. And, now you score 20 points at halftime. So we have, 21, 20, and 16. So, but the second half, much better flow. You have 14 assists second half. Some of that you're making shots, but some of it you're moving the ball. And we stepped up and made some shots. The defense was, first half was pretty good other than that little stretch with the transition. And we were fortunate, I thought, start of second half. They missed a couple layups, and then we went on the run. And that's when, we were able to kind of take over the game.
Do you have to change your approach going to these games now when the same pattern happens 1, 2, 3?
Well, I hopefully get, one, we're a new team, a young team, and we've only played 3 games and we're 3-0. So, and we've won by, 2 decent margin games against teams that are, they're decent teams. Monmouth was a lot of veterans coming back. North Dakota State had a lot of people, all their guys back. So, we just got to learn and grow from it. We talked about it. I said 67-64, Evansville, Kentucky last night. And if that doesn't motivate you and get your attention, I don't know what would. So again, I don't know. They have to answer. I asked them. I just kind of left it as a generic question. Were you ready? And I thought they were, but obviously it wasn't very good in the first half.
You guys go 4 of 19 on threes tonight. How much of a concern is the three-point shooting this early in the season?
Well, we're 1 for 32 if you didn't figure it out in first half, so that's not very good. And some were forced and rushed, and some I didn't think were not part of the offense, and there were other ones we were just wide open. And I told them at halftime, obviously, what are teams doing to us? They're just sitting in the lane waiting, and a couple times we had drop downs. They got 3 guys around Levi, lose the ball. Monte got it, Mac got it taken a couple times, or we drove and there's a bunch of people there. We had 5 charges against Vegas. They're sitting in the lane. We got to move the basketball, kick it. I thought the threes in the second half were pretty good rhythm threes. Obviously, it helps Xavier hit one. We get a couple stops, get another one. We get a nice run to start the second half.
Coach, you like where your shot distribution has come from so far this season?
Yeah, I think it's pretty balanced if you look at it. And our bench has pretty good numbers. You look at shots. I think I talked about dominating twos, and we've been pretty good about it. The 2-point field goals. We got to steal some baskets. I thought we pushed it in the second half. David got out on the break. Cardi pushed it much better. That one play, the steal by Xavier to Monte to Mac for the dunk. Those are kind of spirit breakers. But again, we made the right play, moved the ball. We had some transition in the first half, and we just forced it and turned it over. And how many turnovers at halftime? It was, I think we had 9 at halftime. So did a little better job taking care of the ball in the second half.
David, a lot of the threes you guys take, they're open. They just don't seem to fall. Is it tough to turn them down when they're open like that, even if they're not falling for you guys?
No, not really. It's more of if you miss, you guys make sure the next one go in, or it's like when you miss one, it's coming back around to you, so you just gotta be ready.
David, do you feel like the threes you guys shot tonight were open looks and they just didn't go in, or how do you kind of evaluate those attempts?
Yeah, I think they were open looks. They just didn't go in. I think it just we were spot up. We just gotta make the shot. You know, that just takes getting in the gym and trying to hit them. So yeah.
For both David and Montavious, why do you think you guys have been so good in the second half, but not so good in the first half in all 3 games?
Honestly, I think it just. Honestly, I just think it's just the speed of the game. I feel like we come out and we think take things for granted, but we got to come out in the second half and we just always play hard. So I think we should just come out play more harder in the first half and just lock in.
I think it's just at halftime before the coaches come in, we talk, and the guys on the bench see what the guys on the court's not doing, and we just communicate, and they just go out there the first 5 minutes and adjust, and then we come off the bench and just try to pick up where they left off.
David, how do you feel out there running the offense as the point?
I feel good. It's something I've done my whole life, so it's nothing different.
David, what do you feel like you bring with your game that is special, that distinguishes you, that nobody else on the roster brings to the table?
It's a lot of things guys do, but I feel like passing the ball, as everybody knows, that's what I've done since I've been playing basketball. I think that comes from being a family person, having multiple siblings, and it's not really you can't be greedy. You got to share it with a big family.
Coach, King Rice came in here and talked about how he sensed that Cardi kind of calmed everybody down when things weren't going too well. Did you get that sense tonight?
I think, Wyatt asked me about Cardi when I just did postgame, and if you remember back when he was a freshman and, Cam goes down and we had to stick him in there, I think his coolness and calmness were probably the reason he had success. He has that, he chills, kind of just plays relaxed. But I thought the second half, actually, he pushed it and got going a little bit. You got to play at different paces and take advantage. He is an unbelievable athlete, and he's got to take advantage. If he walks it up, it's not a good thing. And, slowly but surely we broke their spirit. I think you look at even minutes, our bench, you got guys 17, 15, 16, 16, and even Pearson comes in at the end. So, hopefully that's going to be a positive as we move forward, that we can wear people down and then able to take advantage of it and instead of they beat us down the court in the first half, we beat them down the court in the second half.
Coach, how many point guards do you have on this roster, and what do you look for from each of them?
Well, Cardi's probably a little more scoring. Even David can score, and this is all new for David, just kind of joining us, figuring it out. One thing we talked about at halftime as the coaches, we thought get David in with Cardi, with Xavier. And because in the first half he was with the younger guys, and maybe that gives him a chance to direct and get it to people, more weapons, chance to, execute a little better. And so that we did do that, and we had a good, run in that stretch with that lineup in there. So, but, David's he's a great pass-first guy. He just talked about it. That's his pride and joy. Cardi is probably a little more scorer, but I thought tonight, one of the big plays, jump stop, kick it, 3. Jump stop, kick it, 3. And he's got to learn people are coming on him. And if you make the right play, now we start making some shots now to open up the lanes for him, which it did later in the half. So, and Sean gives us a little point guard. Dejuan's got a little better. You got hopefully enough versatile pieces that can help us.
You feel like Cardi can create, whether he's at the 1, 2, 3, wherever.
Oh yeah, actually we keep telling him that's why he always says I love being in with David, but we're trying to get up the court and let David kick it ahead to you. Now in space with your athleticism you can make plays, and I think he's got to learn that to get up the court so that he can get downhill. We got to get downhill. I didn't think first time David got it and they switched. He dribbled, and then he shot a tough 3. And our whole thing, and probably not enough practice time, and we haven't gone against it enough, but we said keep it flowing. get it to the next guy. Handoff, next guy. Now, sooner or later, you break people down. I thought second half, we got it side to side a little better.
Coach, seen instances the first few games where Monty gets on the perimeter defensively and seems to do a pretty good job. Has he always been good at that, or has that come along a little bit?
I think he's done a nice job, and his minutes again is one of the most on the team, and because he does what he's figured out his role. I think that's the biggest thing he's done right now, and he's doing a great job. He's executing, taking pride in it. He's guarding, rebounding. Everyone wants to score, and he got a few more points, make the dang free throws, and he's got 10, tonight. So slowly but surely get some confidence. His plus minus is 21, second on the team, and so he's done a nice job. I like what Antonio's given us. He's played hard too. I thought first half he was maybe the only shining star there, because he did some things and kept it active, got his hands on balls, and they've both been pretty good for freshmen, and Dejuan too. I thought he seemed a little more comfortable today, making some plays.
Yeah, how big is it to get these freshmen on the court and David on the court for over 15 minutes?
Again, what I just went through, 17, 15, 16, 16. And it's been like that pretty, and then Monte's 28, so they're getting a lot of experience. We're 3-0. We've learned. We've had, they haven't been easy games by any means, and which is good for us for the long haul. But I emphasize to them in practice, this next 10 days is so important to take what we learned in these first 3 games and get something done in practice. Practice has to be important. I know Iverson doesn't think it is. Coach Weber does think it is. And it's got to be important that, we got one game, Pine Bluff on Tuesday, and they're going to zone us. So that's good to go against zone, so we got to prepare for that and get better. Tonight they played a handful of possessions of zone. But getting ready so that we have made strides when we go to Fort Myers.